Here is my new Yamaha 125 TTR dirt bike. You can see Dean's Baja in the back. Corey's much larger YYZ 2-stroke. I think it's a YYZ 125. Got better shocks and quite a bit bigger bike, a little bit faster. But this is my new hog. And it has a flat tire right now with a nail in it. But I got a new inner tube for it, and pretty soon I'll be making a video of me changing the tire. We had to clean the carb out on it and tear it all apart, and now it's running pretty good. Okay, here's the bike jacked up so I can spin the wheel. I'm going to start taking the wheel off now. Okay, start off, giving everything a good spray. I did this earlier too, just so that everything will come apart good, I hope. And then, gotta get some wrenches. Okay, now that it's all greased up, I've got the proper tools. And what I'll do is I'll start by taking this chain guard off. I'm going to have to take the chain off. It's just plastic. There's your chain there. Probably just perfect. You need just a little bit of play there. Then, I think what we'll do is we'll go around and try to take this main shaft out of here. So, I'm just going to hold it with this. And I'll crank it over here with the wrench. Probably never been loosened before. Let's see if this will go. Nope. I'm pretty sure that nut has to come off. I'm pretty sure this here has to come off. Try. Give it a little bang here. Believe it or not, it is getting looser. There we go. Yes, and it is turning. Now it's starting to turn my nut. So I gotta hold on to the nut. Take this bolt out. Now would be a great time to spray a little more oil on it so that when I do put it back on, it'll be that much easier. There's the nut off. There's the washer. Don't know what this is. but I better remember where it was set. Right there. And shaft here should come out. It's turning. Maybe. Yeah, there's a bit of play there, so. There we go. And it's coming. It's coming. There's the shaft out. And I don't know if this here, how that comes off. I would imagine you gotta get this chain off first. That. And this here, the brake is still hooked on. But this okay, looks like I'm gonna have to get some more tools and take that brake off on the other side in order to get the wheel off. Okay, I think I got it. First I took this piece of the brake off, and then I realized I didn't have to. I just had to wiggle the, I think they're disc brakes. And you just gotta wiggle it in there. Came out. Tire comes off like that. That's the drum in there. That's the brake shoes here that go out when you press the brake. Right here. Okay, well it needs to be attached. Anyhow, I'll leave that like that. Hopefully I'll get it all back together. But now that I got the tire off, I got to take the tire off the rim, find the hole. There's the nail right there. And I bought a tube for it. And next part of the video will be me taking the tire off the rim and putting the tube in. Okay, here's the inner tube that I'm hopefully going to replace the one in here with. Now I just got to try to get this tire off the rim. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm going around and tightening all of these spokes here. See how this one here is loose? What you do is you go around, and the wrench, of course I don't have the proper size wrench, so I have to use an adjustable, and you just turn it like that until it's tight. But you can only do it a little bit at a time. That's what I'm doing to every one of these spokes. And then we'll try to take the tire off. Okay, all the spokes are all tightened. Now what I do is I take this nut off of here, and this nut off of here. This is your your rim lock right here, and that's where you put the air in. Take that off so that you can get it through once I take the tire off. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm just making sure that the bead that has been set right into this rim here is all broken by going around with a screwdriver and a pry bar, and just making sure that it's all good and loose there before I then flip it over sprocket side down and try to pop the tire off the rim. I'm trying to film this by myself, so it's not easy. Okay, I'm starting to get the hang of this, but the YouTube video I watched sure made it look a lot easier. Putting in pry bars and flathead screwdrivers. Trying to get this tire up over top of the rim like that. Then you move the pry bar and get it in like that. Hopefully I'll get this tire off today. Okay, looks like I'm at the part where I can pull the old tube out. It's not easy to do with one hand. And pull that out, then try to get the other tube in, cover the tube in baby powder, put it in, and then get this tire totally off the rim, fix the hole in the tire, and put the new baby powdered covered new tube into the tire. Okay, before putting the inner tube, which I just filled up with air, into the tire, you want to have just the right amount of air in it. You don't want it totally full, you'll never get it in. So what you want to do is hold your finger on it like that, and if it creases, like sort of folds down around your finger, then that's just enough air. As you can see, that's pretty bouncy. That's too much air, so I'm just going to release a little bit of air. And I think that's about perfect. Okay, now as you see, I've popped the tire off of one side of the rim. I've taken the inner tube out. This is a little piece of rubber here that helps protect the tube, which I'll try to put that back in. Some people put duct tape in there. And now what I'm trying to do is take the tire that's off one side of the rim, and now I'm trying to put it right onto the other side of the rim, which is very hard. I gotta go around the whole tire like this. There, see how I've got a little more popped under there? Get right in there. And I'm going to do that all the way around. Might be kind of hard to hear over the air compressor running, but I've had this tire all put together, and then I filled it up with air and it wouldn't hold air. It kept leaking, so I had to go and take the tire out. I had to go and take the tube out of the tire again. And as you can see right here, there's a hole the exact size of one of the screwdrivers that I was using to put the tire back together. Right there. That's why you should always pay for a professional to put a tire together for you. Goes flat. There's a $12 tube. Garbage now. I'll go get another tube. Okay, it's about a week later now. I've been to Performance Shed and I brought my tire in and bought a new tube off of them, and they put it all together for me, filled her up with air, and now I'm going to put it on the bike. It was a lot of work, waste of time really, taking it off, putting it all back together, and it had a hole in it, so didn't want a chance getting another hole in another tube, so I had them put it together. So now I'll get her back on the bike. Hi everybody, I got the tire all put together at Performance Shed, and now I'm going to see if I can reassemble it onto the bike here. And you have to get the brake shoes in there like that. And then this main shaft goes through. Oh, just a minute. Before that, this goes in. It's like a little spacer. Yeah, I should have put that in first. That goes in there. And that makes it fit nice and tight. Almost too tight. chain's on. Now, this piece, I'm a little unsure of. I know it goes on here. Oh, I thought that I could adjust it different ways, but it looks like it actually only fits on that way. The washer, the nut. And then, just gotta do the tighten that on, tighten this nut over here. There, I'll tighten it up and hopefully it'll work. Okay, just gonna give it the final tightening down here. Oh, that is as tight as it'll get. And we'll lift it off of this thing. And we're ready to go. So that's how you change a tire, or an inner tube into a tire. You go and get a professional to do it, and then you're not wasting your money and your time poking holes in inner tubes. See you. Okay, that is not the end of this story. After driving the tire in to be repaired and have the new inner tube put in and that, I forgot one little piece of the rim lock, a little rubber part that goes on the rim lock. I phoned them, I said, do you really need this? They said yes. Actually, they phoned me back later, they said yes, we need that. We need that piece for the rim lock. So I drove it there on a day that I was working nights. I drove all the way back, all the way home, and then I go to pick up the completed installed tire and inner tube and that, and I get it on the bike, thinking everything's great, and then I take a closer look and they didn't even put the rim lock in. There's just a hole there. So I call them back and I say how you told me that you needed the rim lock, and then they said, he put me on hold, he went and talked to the mechanic. The mechanic said that the rim lock was broken, which I know it wasn't. Maybe he meant the rubber was off the top of it. And he said that for a bike that size I don't even need a rim lock, it's just a waste of time putting it in and all that. And then I said, well, I mean, I don't want to call him a liar or anything, but basically I'm calling him a liar, because I said, like, I called you, I said, do I need this piece for the rim lock? You called me back, you said yes, you need that piece. Made a special trip in. That's like 3 hours of driving just for the stupid tire repair. So anyhow, he said, so then I asked him, well, what does a rim lock actually do? And he explained to me what it does is it holds the tire tight to the rim, and then there's no chance of the bead popping off the rim and popping the inner tube. So I said to him, and he had told me how I don't need it and I can just drive it like this. So I said, well, so if I take it out now and I'm driving it for X amount of hours and all of a sudden the tire pops off and blows a hole in the inner tube, I can bring it back then and you'll put a new inner tube in it and you'll install it for free? And he said, no. And I said, well, then I want the rim lock put back in. He said, well, the only thing I can do is deliver the rim lock back to you. And I said, fine. And he delivered it, which is bullshit, because I should have taken it back. They should have tore the tire off, put the rim lock in, put the inner tube back in, put it all back together for free, I think. So anyhow, this was Performance Shed, and I think it's the last time I'm going to deal with them. And I almost bought a helmet there today, but they didn't have the right size, so they're ordering one in, and I'm going to go buy it somewhere else. So thanks for watching. See you later.